Today's episode is brought to you by Card Kingdom, and for a limited time, all pre-orders of $25 or more with a Modern Horizons booster pack or box will get a sheet of stickers featuring not just the Card Kingdom logo, but some of your favorite Modern decks for free. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Series TBD. That means we are heading to Legacy, but we are heading to Legacy to play a bunch of War of the Spark cards. This is Blue-White Superfriends for Legacy, featuring not one, not two, not three, 4 different War of the Spark planeswalkers: Dovin, Narset, Karn, and even some new Teferi. So basically, a deck that's looking to play a bunch of planeswalkers and hope that those planeswalkers can carry it to victory. And this one comes to us from Vampire Garlic Pizza, who took it to a 5-0 finish in a Legacy League on Magic Online. So congrats to Vampire Garlic Pizza on a really sweet deck. A quick reminder before we break down Blue-White Superfriends for Legacy. If you enjoy this deck and you enjoy Series TBD in general, it would be amazing of you if you take a second, click that subscribe button down at the bottom of your screen. It's a great way to support the channel and the site for free. So let's talk some Blue-White Superfriends, and this deck, it's actually really simple. So step 1 is to ramp into our planeswalker. So for this, we have 2 different options: Ancient Tomb and also Chrome Mox. So Ancient Tomb just taps for 2 mana. Along with something like Chrome Mox, we can potentially play a planeswalker as early as turn 1. Chrome Mox is a little bit weird because it costs us a card. When it comes into play, we have to imprint a card from our hand. It taps for mana of those colors. So that is a drawback. However, since we have so many planeswalkers, and most of those planeswalkers generate some sort of card advantage, we're better suited than most decks to get away with throwing away a card for a mana. So Ancient Tomb, Chrome Mox get us to our planeswalkers. Then we have our parade of planeswalkers. So we start with Dovin, Hand of Control, and also Narset, Parter of the Veils. And these planeswalkers are of note for 2 reasons. First off, they're only 3 mana, so they're very efficient. Second, both Dovin and Narset are arguably more powerful in Legacy than they are in other formats because of how the Legacy format works. So Dovin taxes instant sorceries and artifacts. A lot of decks in Legacy are using cantrips, brainstorms and ponders and preordains, cards like that, along with cheap efficient removal spells, lightning bolts and swords to plowshares. Adding +1 to all those spells is actually a really big deal. It's basically like a Thalia almost, but a Thalia that doesn't die to a lightning bolt or a fatal push or a swords to plowshares. So actually very relevant in the Legacy format. And then Narset kind of hits on the same stuff with the static ability, each opponent only being able to draw 1 card each turn. That means your opponent kind of really hamstrung when it comes to Brainstorm and Ponder and Preordain and Jason Mind Sculptor and all these brainstormy cantrippy type effects. It makes those cards look absolutely silly. Plus, with Narset, we actually do have a combo. It's just a one of, but we do have a Days Undoing. So because we have so many card draw planeswalkers and a bunch of cantrips ourselves, we can often dig through our deck and eventually wipe out our opponent's hand with Days Undoing, making our opponent basically shuffle away their entire hand and draw just 1 card with Narset. So that's Planeswalker Part 1. We have a couple of Teferi Time Ravelers. This one's a little bit weird. It does protect us from counter spells. That's kind of its main ability, is the static ability, where once we get Teferi down, our opponent can't just Force a Will and counterspell and spell pierce our other planeswalkers. Otherwise, ticking down to bounce something to draw a card can be relevant, but it's mostly a static ability planeswalker. And then at the top end of our curve, we kind of have our finishing planeswalkers: Jason Mind Sculptor, brainstorming, bouncing, doing it all, eventually winning by ticking up and making our opponent draw nothing and exiling the library. And then Karn the Great Creator can tutor up some finishers from our sideboard to help us close out the game. Otherwise, as far as creatures, we have 2 removal creatures. Walking Ballista, can shoot down little creatures, can be a finisher. Palace Jailer, kind of funny in this deck, gets rid of a creature, makes us a Monarch. Normally, Monarchy is good if you can keep it. In our deck, because in our set, if our opponent steals a Monarchy, we can still kind of be okay because Narset stops the Monarchy card draw to our opponent's end step if we have a Narset out. So removal with less downside in our deck than most decks. Otherwise, we have all the cantrips, Brainstorm, Ponder, Preordain, just to cycle through our deck, find our planeswalkers, find our Days Undoing, find whatever we need in any given situation. For defense, Force of Will and Misdirection. So essentially like 5 Force of Wills along with a Spell Pierce to force through our planeswalkers and also make sure we don't die to combos. Swords to Plowshares gives us just a touch of removal to deal with our opponent's creatures. Back to basics to just jank opponents out of the game. Yes, it hurts us some, But we know it's coming, so we can kind of play around it. And if we can cast this when our opponent's tapped out, we can often just kind of lock our opponent out of playing Magic and give us free reign to just go off with our planeswalkers. Mana base wise, not going to talk about every land. It's pretty simple. We got the Ancient Tombs that we talked about. Otherwise, fetch lands, a couple of original dual lands, a bunch of basic lands for our back to basics plan. As far as the sideboard, we do have some Karn stuff. We've seen various Karn decks. Some of them are all in on the Karn sideboard plan, playing like all artifacts. Our deck, we're playing some artifacts, but we're not exclusively artifacts. So one of our finishing plans, Karn, get Mycosynth Lattice, play Mycosynth Lattice, opponent can't do anything, we win with our planeswalkers. We can also grab Tormod Script for Graveyard Hate, Pithy Needle to shut down like opposing planeswalkers or wastelands or whatever, Walking Ballista if we need some removal and another finisher, Ensnaring Bridge for creature matchups, and then we have a bunch of removals. Supreme Verdict is a Wrath, Oblivion Ring, kind of good against, I guess, Show and Tell in specific, because we can put it into play off Show and Tell and snag the Emrakul or whatever. Karakas to bounce Grizzlebrand's Emrakuls before they do their damage. Tomic gives us a way to fight through wastelands, essentially, and also shut down, like, Life from the Loam decks. Flusterstorm is a way to counter things, just an additional counter spell. And that is Blue-White Superfriends for Legacy. And that is our series TBD deck for this week. So, this is going to be interesting. We have a ton of War of the Spark cards. I have no idea how well this deck's going to work, but we're going to give it a shot, hopefully do some sweet things in a really powerful format. So, anyway, let's get to the gameplay, see if Blue-White Super Friends can actually compete in the format. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon. Alright, series TBD time. This week, we are heading to Legacy. Alright. Heading to Legacy to play some Super Friends. The War of the Sparkiest of War of the Spark decks. Well, this hand is defense heavy and land light. We have lots of ways to interact, but we don't have much mana. Hopefully it's a matchup where Force is good. If it's a fair matchup, I mean, I guess, okay. It is an unfair matchup. Ancient Tomb, Lotus Petal. Show and Tell. Well, Crag Flooded Strand. Tundra. Spell Pierce. Opponent forces. Well, Force of Will. Show and Tell. Exile Dovin. Alright, we survived round 1. Well, let's brainstorm. Need to hit our land drops. Put back Swords to Plowshares. Put back Karn. Play Polluted Delta. Pass the turn. Well, our opponent more or less emptied their hand there. They gotta have a finisher or they wouldn't show and tell, but opponent, Polluted Delta. It should take them a minute or two to rebuild. Take a Tundra. Shuffle away our bad cards. Untap. Play an island. Pass the turn. Opponent. More Ancient Tombs. Passes. We draw. Narset. Narset's sweet. So. Ancient Tomb. Narset. Opponent cracks. Volcanic Island. Brainstorms. Before Narset locks it down. Yeah. Narset resolves. Take down Narset. Take... Yeah, let's brainstorm for now. Pass the turn. Having Force of Will blue card and brainstorm is nice. Opponent. Passing. Chromox, not super exciting. Take down Narset. Take another Narset. New Narset. Keep new Narset. Take down Narset. Take second Force of Will. I don't think we could have too many Force of Wills in this matchup. We have our defense set and ready to go. Opponent. What now you got? Nothing. Passes. Now we would actually like to find another planeswalker. Narset. Takes down. Take Ponder. I don't really want Dovin here. Dovin doesn't do much. Ponder. Alright, draw the Ponder. Ponder. Alright, draw Force. Play a land, pass the turn. Alright, Force of Will Tribal. Is what we are. Opponent passes. We untap. We draw a Flooded Strand. So Brainstorm. Put back Chromox. Play Flooded Strand past the turn. Sooner or later we will find something. Opponent passing. Well, shuffle away those cards we don't want. Get an island. Untap. Shuffled back into Chromox. Well, let's brainstorm. Put back Ancient Tomb, Chrome Mox. Play Polluted Delta. And pass the turn. Next turn, we can play another Narset. Opponent's up to 7 cards in hand. They're likely drawing a lot of cantrips that don't do a whole lot. Opponent passes. Well, shuffle away. Polluted Delta. Grab an island. Untap. Play Narset. Part 3. Keep the new one. Take down Narset. Take Dovin. Yeah, play Polluted Delta. Pass the turn. We're keeping our opponent from doing much of anything, but we're not actually killing our opponent yet. I guess a million Force of Wills are helpful, though. It should be hard for our opponent to kill us. Opponent. To the discard to hand size part of the game. Emrakul. Shuffles it back in. Alright, we untap. Take down Narset. Days Undoing would be insane. There's our big planeswalkers. Okay, so take... Take Jace. Play the land, play the Jace. Right now we have 1, 2 Force of Wills. Yeah, let's brainstorm. Put back Swords to Plowshares, Walking Ballista. Pass the turn. Okay, I think we're pretty much where we want to be. We do need to kill our opponent eventually, but we have so many forces. Opponent passes. Well, crack Polluted Delta down to 10. No lands, but at least we shuffle. Untap. Opponent has to discard. Grizzlebrand. Oh, there's Days Undoing. Huh. Do we just want to fight that battle? Take up Jace. City of Traders. That's fine. So if we cast Days Undoing, we can force? Alright. Days Undoing. What do you say, opponent? Can you beat Narset Days Undoing with triple force backup? Flusterstorm. Okay, pay. Oh, alright, that's fine. Well, now we'll just let this go. Sure. I mean, we could pay, but I think we're just going to let that go. Flusterstorm, sure. And then we get to back to basics. Cut off our opponent's colored mana. Pass the turn. Opponent scoops it up. We got him. Okay, that went pretty well. That was a impressive Planeswalker performance. It took us a while to find our pieces, but the pieces did get the job done eventually. Like, we were able to parlay them into a victory. All right, bring in Karakas. Go down. I guess one island? Go down an island. Go down Swords to Plowshares. A back to basics. For Flusterstorm. And then go down Walking Ballista for Oblivion Ring. And that might just be the plan. Supreme Verdict, no. Ballista. Bridge, we snag from our sideboard. Same with Pithing Needle. Atomic doesn't do much of anything here. Dovin. Yeah, alright, that's fine. Oblivion Ring mostly to put into play with Show and Tell. That is a good answer to our opponent Show and Telling in like an Emrakul. We just put in Oblivion Ring and got him. Alright, let's see what the hands look like. Okay. We have Palace Jailer as Show and Tell cover. And yeah, we'll try it. Other than that, it's mostly cantrips, but island for our opponent and passes. We draw Flusterstorm. Well, Tundra go. Opponent. Scalding Tarn. And passes. Well, let's ponder. Keep Force of Will. Flooded Strand. Pass the turn. We're a little Chrome Mox flooded, but opponent gonna crack Scalding Tarn. Island. Trying to play around our back to basics. Opponent ponders. Sure. And Scalding Tarn. Passes. I think we're okay with drawing another land. Play Polluted Delta. Pass the turn. Opponent. Cracks Scalding Tarn. Grabs a mountain. Is it Show and Tell time? Ancient Tomb. Oh, so much mana. Sneak Attack. Oh, the question is, can we brainstorm? It's risky. If we whiff on blue cards, then we can't force and Flusterstorm, but our hand is really bad if we don't. Yeah, I think we're going to. Crack Flooded Strand. Take an island. Brainstorm. Put back 2 Chrome Mox. Force of Will. Pitching. Ponder. Alright, that works. Opponent's passing. Well, we dodged a bullet there. Crack Polluted Delta. Grab Tundra. Shuffle away the Chrome Mox. Opponent. Another Palace Jailer. Okay, Chrome Mox. Exile. Palace Jailer. Play Teferi. Alright, opponent brainstorms. We gotta hope they don't have another sneak attack. We don't have a good answer to that at the moment. Honestly, I think we're gonna tick down. Just for no value, just to draw. Alright, Jace. Pass the turn. Oh, this is a big turn. Can we survive this turn? Opponent. Not really worried about show and tell, but very worried about sneak attack. With show and tell, Palace Jailer is a good answer. Although Grizzlebrand would still let our opponent draw some cards. Opponent ponders. That resolves. Man, Narset's so sweet in this matchup. I wish we had a Narset. City of Traders. Show and tell. Alright. Well. Got ya. Palace Jailer. See ya. Emrakul. Opponent passes. Well, take up to Fairy. Go to combat. Get him with Palace Jailer. That was very good. Hit our opponent. Jace. Brainstorm. Put back Swords to Plowshares and Ponder. Play Flooded Strand. Alright, I like where we're at now. We draw the Ponder. Whew, I think we're getting there. Opponent. Jace. Do we even want to fight over Jace? Yeah, I guess we do. Pitch the Ponder. And opponent scoops it up! Whoo! Planeswalkers coming through. The Palace Jailer tech. Taking down the Emrakul. And that was not bad. This deck's kind of fun. Play all the Planeswalkers, even in Legacy. And apparently it can work. Sweet, sweet. Alright, Series TBD time. Head into Legacy. Playing some Super Friends. Legacy, War of the Spark, Tribal, Super Friends, whatnot. Yeah, we'll keep this. We got some Super Friends. Cavern of Souls. And, oh, Goblins? Alright. This should be interesting. Not sure how this goes in game 1. Goblin Lackey. Well, I guess I know what our Swords Plowshares is targeting. Opponent passes. Oh. The bad news here is, well, pass the turn. The bad news is we're going to have to get a dual land. Well, I guess we could get a Plains and just wait on Narset. Opponent goes to combat. Alright. Can we afford a Plains? Yeah, we're going to try to play around Wasteland. Swords of Lackey. Opponent. Okay. Force is not looking great. Cavern number 2. Okay. Lackey. Well, hilariously, Dovin's going to be good here. More. Oh boy, that's a lot of forces that we can't use. Dovin. That is kind of hilarious. Dovin prevents the Lackey damage, which means our opponent can't dump things into play. That is something. Unfortunately, our hand is super bad. All the forces against all the caverns. I think Cavern wins that battle. Opponent. What do you have? Goblin, uncounterable, War Marshal. Sure. Opponent. Attacking. Yeah, that's not going to do what you hope. Opponent passes. More Dovins. Well, Dovin, Unlackey, Polluted Delta, go. A lot of our removals in the sideboard, unfortunately. We do get some good things after sideboarding, but main deck, Goblin seems like the kind of deck that probably wrecks us. Opponent, combat, gets in at Dovin. Sure. We need a Brainstorm to get rid of all these dead cards, I think. Opponent, uncounterable Goblin, War Marshal Part 2. Opponent passes. Well, Crag Polluted Delta, get an island, Preordain. Karn bottom, Polluted Delta top. Dovin the Lackey, play Polluted Delta, pass the turn. I'm actually sort of wondering what do we even have in our main deck that helps us here? Do we have anything in our main deck that helps us here? Opponent, gonna kill our Dovin. What are our main deck outs? I guess Walking Ballista's decent. Yeah, I think we're just not ready for this matchup in game 1. Opponent, gonna hit us, kill Dovin. I guess we have more swords we can find. That's something. Opponent passes. Okay, we untap. Well, that is a Brainstorm. So let's Brainstorm. Get rid of these dead cards. Put back the 2 Force of Wills. Maybe our long-term plan is Karn getting Ensnaring Bridge. That might actually be our out. Crack Polluted Delta. Get an island. Ponder. I don't think we want any of these cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like, Palace Jailer can make us a Monarch, but then our opponent just steals it back. Yeah, I think we just shuffle. Back to basics. We'll play Dovin. Flooded Strand. Target Lackey. Pass the turn. Not sure we're going to get empty-handed quick enough. Mountain for our opponent. Since the Goblins are 1/1s, we need to be literally empty-handed. I guess Misdirection can maybe help us empty our hand. Opponent, combat. Alright, gonna go after the Dovin. They really want to get in a Lackey hit. Alright. Dovin to 1, we drop to 10. Opponent, more Goblins. Oh. Whirler. Okay. Well, we untap. Huh. Walking Ballista is kind of interesting. Although our life total is getting low. 1, 2. Alright, Crag Flooded Strand down to 8. Take an island? Yeah, take an island. Ballista. X3. Drop to 6. Our life total is not high. Opponent. Kill, chump, I guess. And drop to 4. Well, we're fighting the good fight, but the fight might be about over. More Goblins. Chieftain. Well, ping. Are we just dead anyway? Ping. Block 6. Yeah. Alright. Whew. Well, this feels like a tough Super Friends matchup, especially in game 1. Sideboard-wise, Supreme Verdict, probably our best card. Actually, definitely our best card by a pretty long shot. Walking Ballista, very good. I guess Tomic and Oblivion Ring are probably fine. We need to go down all the forces and the Misdirection. Those are just the worst. I could see Pithing Needle for like Ether Vial and also Wastelands, maybe. Back to Basics also feels pretty bad. Ugh, we have a lot of cards we need to take out, don't we? Huh. We could bring in Ensnaring Bridge, but I feel like it's actually better from the sideboard. Our opponent seems like they can play around Back to Basics. And Palace Jailer is even pretty risky most of the time. I guess we can bring in Caracas. Just an extra land is probably better than some of our other cards. Yeah, this might be it. Alright. One Back to Basics or a Spell Pierce. Yeah, let's go Spell Pierce. Alright, run it like that. Well, we're on the play, which is good. Let's see what our hand looks like. Well, okay. A bunch of cantrips. That's helpful. Flooded Strand. Crack it. Island. And Ponder. That's a fine pile. Swords is good. Another Ponder's fine. We just mostly need to kill things. Kill. That is our game plan. Mountain for our opponent. And Ether Vial. Yeah, that resolves. Opponent passing. We could play Dovin, but it doesn't do much. It would use our mana effectively, though. Yeah, alright. I guess we do that. Ancient Tomb. Dovin. Pass the turn. It'll do something in the future, most likely. Opponent taking up the Vial. We would like to find a way to get rid of Ether Vial. That's going to ramp our opponent quite a bit. Port for our opponent. And passes. Taps Ancient Tomb. Okay. Let's preordain. I don't know if Jace is good enough. It feels like it's just going to die. Maybe it's fine. Alright, no, we want something else. Ooh, that's better. That we do like. Play Flooded Strand. Karn is an answer to Ether Vial. Assuming we can get it on the battlefield, which means finding one more land, basically. About it, taking stuff up. That would shut down our opponent's mana. At least help. Opponent, untaps. Because we can Chrome Mox for +1 mana. So if we hit a land, we can Karn. And then use Dovin for protection. Alright, Cavern, Goblin, opponent, passing. Well, crack Flooded Strand. Take a... Take a Tundra. Brainstorm. Put back 2 Ponders. Yeah, put back the 2 Ponders. Untap. Oh, interesting. Well, that's even better. Opponent's going to tap our Tundra, which means we get to Chrome Mox on Ponder. Karn. Shut down the Ether Vial. And this is pretty good. Opponent, what do they find? Well, that's a bummer. Huh. Yeah, that's an answer. Well, take down Karn. Take Ensnaring Bridge. Play a Tundra. Pass the turn. Yeah, Crate Maker was a good one. Opponent, wow, did not activate it. Interesting. Very interesting. Takes up Vial. Mountain. Chieftain. Okay. Opponent. Gonna go attacking. Well, Swords. Swords Crate Maker. Opponent kills a card. Turns on Ether Vial. Yup. Down to 12. Opponent passes. We draw... Ponder. So let's Ponder. Keep Polluted Delta. Play Ensnaring Bridge. Polluted Delta. Pass the turn. Well, let's see if they have another way to blow up an artifact. Vials in. Oh, God. Goblin Matron. Yeah. That can definitely get a way to blow up an artifact, like another Crate Maker. Well, in Legacy, Goblin's got all the answers. Alright, gets another Matron. Then I can just Matron again to get a Crate Maker. Vial staying on 3. Here it comes, Matron number 2. I guess it's possible we're just straight up dead here. Oh, this Ether Vial, the cause of all of our problems. Oh, it gets Trash Master. Also has Lackey. Yeah, I think we're just straight up dead. 369, yeah, that does it. Alright. Well, that's a tough one. Goblins, they got the answers for days, apparently. Maybe it's a good thing Wizards didn't put all the Legacy playable Goblins in Modern, because it felt like we had a decent draw in Game 2. Game 1 is rough. We don't really have the answers to a deck like this in Game 1. Game 2, we had Bridge, we had a Karn, but our opponent, I mean, they got the answers. Crate Maker. That card. Something else. Yeah, alright. Got Goblined. Alright. Series TBD time. We are War. Oh my god. We are War of the Sparking in Legacy, and this hand has some potential, if I do say so myself. Okay. Let's just lead on an island. We have Narset and we have our 1 Days Undoing. So we might be able to just get the jank 'em out win. We even have Force backup, potentially. See what our opponent's up to. Island. Ponders. Well, I think that's the plan. Opponent's passing. Alright, untap. Hopefully draw something bad to pitch to Chrome Mox. Dovin. Yeah, I think Dovin is exilable. So, Chrome Mox. Exile Dovin. Polluted Delta, crack it. Grab a Tundra. Narset. Opponent forces. Well, we'll force back. Narset. Resolves. Take down Narset. Take Force of Will. Pass the turn. Okay! I mean, this is pretty much the game. If we untap and resolve Days Undoing, Flooded Strand for our opponent. Passes. Take down Narset. Take... Let's take Misdirection. And Days Undoing. Opponent cracks. Tundra. Counterspell. Well, Force. Pitch. Misdirection. And okay! Your turn, opponent. How do you like your 1 card and 2 lands? Yes! And opponent scoops it up! Ooh! That is the nut draw. That's as good as it gets for Blue Eye Super Friends. Oh, yes. Yes, 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 yes. That was very impressive. Oh, we got him. We got him good. We got him really good. So opponent is playing Miracles, I assume, based on what we saw. What is our plan against Miracles? Our planeswalkers are good. I'm assuming Back to Basics is something our opponent probably has if they're playing Miracles. So we can go down Back to Basics. Swords to Plowshares is a little hit or miss. We can probably go down Swords to Plowshares. A couple. Flusterstorm seems reasonable. Maybe like Oblivion Ring? Pithing Needle. Going down a Palace Jailer. I kind of don't mind a Palace Jailer for card draw, I guess. Supreme Verdict, no. Caracas, I think no. Tormod's Crypt, Can fizzle Snapcaster, but probably not worth it. Yeah, this might be the setup, I think. Force of Will, though. Do we want to keep all these forces? Forces are a little questionable in fair matchups, but maybe this deck has enough card draw with the Planeswalkers that we can play Force still. Ugh. Man, this hand would be great if we had mana, but we don't have any lands. Alright, this hand's fine. Force of Will number 2 to the bottom, I believe. Opponent, Island, and passes. Well, Island and Ponder. Gonna counter that? By all means, opponent, please do. We're actually gonna shuffle here. Alright, into a land, that's fine. Land is better than that pile of stuff with only 2 lands. Opponent, Tundra, and passes. Well, Flooded Strand, go. Opponent, Island, Ponders. I think we're gonna brainstorm and see if we can find a 2-mana land to get down a Planeswalker. No shuffle for our opponent. Now let's brainstorm. Huh. Interesting. Put back Palace Jailer. Put back Karn. Shuffle. We will take a... I guess a Plains is fine. Untap. Ooh, Needle. I do like Needle. Play an Island. Pass the turn. Opponent, Island, and passing. Well, Polluted Delta. Go. Opponent. Yeah, this might be a long one. Opponent goes with Jace. Interesting. Maybe we just let this... Well, let's force. Force, pitch, Flusterstorm. Opponent forces back, pitching Supreme Verdict. Okay. Brainstorms with the Jace. Polluted Delta. And passes. Dovin. Okay, so let's... 4 cards. We gotta stop the Jace, I think. Let's play Dovin. Actually, play a land. Play Dovin. Opponent cracks Delta. Gets Volcanic Island. And Pyroblast. Alright. Crack Polluted Delta. Tundra. Pithing Needle. On Jace. And pass the turn. Opponent. Passing. Well, play a Tundra. Play Karn. Alright, more counters. Dovin's Veto. Ooh, yup. Opponent passing. Well, pass the turn. This Pithing Needle is shutting down our Jace at the moment. But our opponent already has a Jace. Snapcaster. Yeah. Force it. Opponent has Flusterstorm. Yeah, opponent's counter central. Yeah, no paying. Well, opponent has a Snapcaster. And ponders. Sure. Opponent passes. Well, let's Narset. Take down Narset. Take a... Well, let's take Dovin. Crag Polluted Delta. Take an island. Play Dovin. Ugh. Alright. Literal infinite counters. Opponent untaps. Another Snapcaster. This time for Pyroblast, I assume? Yeah. I think these Snapcasters might be getting there. That's a lot of graveyard value. Kills Narset. Yeah, our hand is a bit slow. Opponent just had a million counters. So much disruption. Opponent passes. We draw. Nothing. Well, pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Teferi Time Raffler. Yeah, alright. Yeah, opponent got there. Okay. Opponent, many counters. Does this change anything? I mean, we have all our counters too. And, like, Misdirection can be sweet. Do we want another Palace Jailer? Yeah, let's go down the Preordain for Palace Jailer. Just the card advantage aspect seems good here. We're on the play. Well, okay. We got defense, but that's about it at the moment. Flooded Strand, go. Opponent untaps. Flooded Strand. Passes. Polluted Delta, go. Opponent. Volcanic Island. Well, crack Polluted Delta. Grab an island. Brainstorm. Wow, is our opponent going to fight this? Gets a Tundra. Spell Pierces. Okay. We untap. Play a Plains. Crack Flooded Strand. For a Tundra. Narset. We are going to have to fight for Narset. Opponent has Pyroblast. Well, Force. Exiling Flusterstorm. Does our opponent have Force? Oh, they do. Force preaching Brainstorm. Alright. Well, opponent's got more cards than us. We got more lands than our opponent. We've been fighting the battles, and so far, our opponents had the victories. Opponent ponders. And ponders. Opponent seems desperate for lands. Another Narset would be so insane. We're a blue card short from pulling it off. Opponent finds an island. Passes. What do we find? Well, pass the turn. We could run out to Teferi, but I think I'd rather leave up Force. Ugh. Opponent's hitting all the cantrips. Brainstorm. Lock them. No lands. No lands. No fetch lands. Lock them. And they find the fetch. Well, opponent has managed to hit their land drops. That's for sure. Opponent passes. We draw Ponder. Well, let's ponder. Well, let's draw Dovin. And then Tundra. Pass the turn. We can have Dovin to pitch to Force this turn. Opponent untaps. Cracks Misty. Island. And passes. Well, play Tundra. Play Teferi. Alright, opponent's got a counter spell. Pass the turn. Narset. Well, let's Force. And there's the Flusterstorm. Good golly. I feel like our opponent just has more counters than we do. Well, there's Narset. Opponent takes down. Whiffs. Well, that's fortunate. Opponent's passing. Well, Oblivion Ring. Get rid of Narset. Pass the turn. Well, who hits the first planeswalker? Opponent. Snapcaster. For Ponder. Opponent ponders. Can't stop it. Shuffles. Plays a land. Opponent passing. We draw land. Well, let's brainstorm. Is it time to Karn? Put back Polluted Delta. Yeah, put back Polluted Delta, put back Flusterstorm. Ancient Tomb. Karn. Oh my god. Alright, last card. Force pitching another Force. Well, that's bad. Opponent. Everyone's empty-handed, but we're not drawing anything for a minute and a half. Down to 12. Yeah, we draw a dead Flusterstorm. Pass the turn. Yeah, I feel like our opponent just has way more counters for this matchup. Opponent, Snapcaster. Gets in. We know we're drawing a dead land. Opponent passes. We draw a dead land. We pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Accumulate knowledge to draw a card. Plays a plains. Council's Judgment. Well, that has to be Flusterstormed. Alright. Staying alive. We need to top deck something, though. We need to top deck something. Opponent gets in. Come on, Planeswalker. Down to 8. We draw. Alright, Dovin. I mean, that is technically a Planeswalker. Stop the Snapcaster beats. Pass the turn. Opponent. Who draws the first Haymaker? First Jace or Teferi wins the game, I think. Oh, it's Council's Judgment. Well, that resolves. Oh, man. 2 Council's Judgments in a row. That's brutal. Narset. Finds a counter spell. Plays a land. Opponent passes. We draw. A Palace Jailer that gets counterspelled. Man. Palace Jailer. Wow. Oh, Palace Jailer would have been so good. Oh, man. That would have been very helpful. Opponent untaps. Narset number 2. Counterbalance. Plays a counterbalance. And a land. There's still a counterspell. Opponent passing. We draw. Nothing. Well, Dovin. Play a Flooded Strand. Pass the turn. Opponent. Passing. We draw. Boy, this is the worst ponder. Ponder. Opponent blind flips Brainstorm. Yeah. Oh, wow. Well, that's kind of how Legacy games go. It gets down to the point where both players are low on resources, and then someone top decks the Haymaker, and in this case, it was our opponent that did the Haymaker top decking. Play a card. Gonna get countered. Yeah, opponent managed to hit running Council's Judgments, which was pretty much just the game. Opponent brainstorms, counter spells. Well, play Polluted Delta, crack Flooded Strand. I don't think this actually is going to be enough. Get an island, crack Polluted Delta, get an island, run out Palace Jailer, get rid of the Snapcaster. Pass the turn. See what our opponent's got. We gotta hope they have nothing. You gotta hope for literal nothing. Opponent. Teferi. Well, that's not literal nothing. Bounces our Palace Jailer. Follow up. Cracks Polluted Delta. Brainstorms. And passes. Well, run out Palace Jailer. Jace, and we will scoop it up. Oh, man. Well, that was an interesting game. That was very interesting. We basically got to a state of parity, and at the state of parity, opponent had somehow 2 Council's Judgments on the top of their deck. We also saw, our Council's Judgment was Oblivion Ring, and we saw the drawback. The drawback is Council's Judgment beats Oblivion Ring and gets back Narset, and we lose. The upside is Council's Judgment does not allow you to beat Show and Tell. When Oblivion Ring does. So you can see how choices you make for different matchups can have big impacts. Whew. Boy, that was a brutal one. That was really painful. Somehow our Super Friends deck got out planeswalkered. I assume that we have way more Narsets than our opponent, but they had more Narsets on the battlefield. All right, series TBD time. We are playing some War of the Spark Super Friends in Legacy. And this hand's a little sketchy, but we'll give it a shot. Opponent has a Delver of Secrets. Okay. Well, let's Ancient Tomb, Chrome Mox, Exile, Preordain, Dovin. No days. No days. Alright, Resolves. Take up on Delver. Pass the turn. Well, this should slow our opponent down. Does Delver flip? We do need to find a Swords eventually to exile this Delver. No flip. Flooded Strand for our opponent. Cracks Flooded Strand. Volcanic Island. And Young Pyromancer. Oh, we need to find a sword soon. Opponent passes. Ponder. Well, let's Brainstorm. That's good. That's very good. Put back Dovin. Put back Island. Huh. Do we want to keep this Dovin? Yeah, let's go Dovin Island. Polluted Delta. Crack Polluted Delta. Get a Tundra. Swords, Young Pyromancer. Dovin, the Delver. Pass the turn. Opponent. Delver. No flip. And Young Pyromancer Part 2. Okay. Opponent passes. Ooh, Karn. Well, let's play Teferi. Bounce Young Pyromancer. Draw a card. Dovin the Delver. Chromox. On the Brainstorm. Ponder. Oh, those are 3 very good cards. Alright. Yes, we will keep all of those. For sure. Pass the turn. Walking Ballista to kill both creatures seems insane. Opponent, Delver, does it flip? I think our opponent's trying to figure out if they reveal it or not. It seems like a spell that could flip it, but they're not sure if it's worth revealing. If they just run out Young Pyromancer again and we get to kill both. Opponent says, this made a lot more sense when I saw who I was playing against. I guess my reputation precedes me. Opponent preordains. Finds a land, plays a land, cracks a land. Gets a mountain. And the grimmest of Lavamancers. Opponent passes. Well, tick up to Fairy. Play Karn. Swords, Lavamancers. Dovin the Delver. Tick up Karn. And pass the turn. Opponent. We are running low on Dovins. Dreadhorde Arcanist. And Delver. Opponent. Passes. We draw to Fairy. Well, tick down Karn. We can't quite... We can't quite Lattice. I think we just take Ensnaring Bridge. Play Ensnaring Bridge. Play Walking Ballista. Tick up to Fairy. And pass the turn. Opponent, Delver. Does it flip? Another War of the Spark card. Dreadhorde Arcanist. Apparently War of the Spark is having quite the impact in older formats. No flip. We know there's a Pyromancer in hand. Opponent, combat. Attacks. At Dovin. Dovin into Fairy. Alright. Opponent preordain. Not gonna cast it. Well, I think we just chump Arcanist to keep Dovin alive. I like this taxing effect. Teferi goes to 2. Young Pyromancer. Opponent passes. We draw Narset. Interesting. Oh, we really need to get empty-handed. Well, tick up to Fairy. Take down Karn. Take Walking Ballista. Play Walking Ballista. Kill Young Pyromancer. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps Delver. Does it flip? Being down to 9 is a bit scary. Down to 9 means we can die to burn spells. Alright, 2 mana Preordain. Opponent, combat. Attacks Dovin. Attacks Teferi. Targets Preordain. Huh. Alright, kill the Delver. Dovin down. And opponent, Chain Lightning Teferi. Sure. Well, we get to untap. Well, I guess we play Narset. Resolves. Swords Arcanist. Take up card. And take down Narset. Yeah, let's take Spell Pierce. Pass the turn. Alright, opponent. We are grinding. We are grinding and grinding. I'm mostly worried at being at 7. Like, bolt, 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 we just lose. Island for our opponent. Passes. Ooh, another swords is interesting. Well, let's... What do we do? Take up Karn. Our mana situation's so awkward. Yeah, I guess we pass. Opponent untaps. Combat. Well, Swords, Delver. We know one of our opponent's cards is a Daze. Opponent. Wasteland. Wasteland's our white source. Yeah, can't stop that. Opponent passes. I'll take down Narset. Take a Ponder. Ponder. Alright. Back to basics. Brainstorm. Misdirection. No shuffle. Play Flooded Strand. Pass the turn. Oh, take up card. Pass the turn. Opponent ponders. Okay. That's not going to do as much as I hope. Narset, pretty good against Ponder. They get to reorder, which is nice. A nice little reordering. Opponent passes. Yeah, let's brainstorm. Put back Ancient Tomb back to basics. Actually, definitely Ancient Tomb. Yeah, Ancient Tomb back to basics. Play an island. Take up Karn. Pass the turn. Opponent. We might be slowly assembling the lock. Opponent passes. We draw back to basics. Well, crack Flooded Strand. Oh, I do not like going to 6, but crack Flooded Strand. Take our planes. Play Teferi. Opponent has Spell Pierce. Well, I guess if we're at 6, we might as well go to 4. Another Spell Pierce. Alright, Misdirection. Exiling. Actually, no, that doesn't work, because our opponent can pay. Alright. No Teferi. Take up card. I guess we go beatdowns now. Yeah. Ensnaring Bridge. Beatdowns. Hit our opponent. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Passes. We draw an Ancient Tomb. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So strange. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Alright, well, Karn. Ensnaring Bridge. Go attacking. Hit our opponent. Play Ancient Tomb. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Draws. Dreadhorde Arcanist. Okay. Opponent passing. Well, Karn. Turn on Ensnaring Bridge. Pass the turn. What a weird game. Oh man, we're in danger of timing out too. Opponent untaps. Combat. Attacks Narset. Wait, opponent. Trying to figure out what to attack. Attacks Narset. Chain Lightning. Gonna Chain Lightning Bridge. Misdirection. Exile back to basics. Target Arcanist. Chain Lightning. Targets Bridge. Okay, so Bridge down. Opponent passes. We untap. More Ancient Tombs. Well, Take up card. Play Ancient Tomb. Days Undoing. Opponent has Days. We pay for Days. Has another Days. We do not pay for that Days. We pass the turn. Okay. Oh my god, this game. Opponent untaps. 2 lands in hand. Or no, 1 land in hand and 1 unknown. Plays the island. Opponent passes. We draw. Chrome Mox. Well, take down Karn. We still can't get Lattice. Unfortunately. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, take Tormod's Crypt. Play Tormod's Crypt. Pass the turn. Our mana... Where's all of our just normal lands? This is so awkward. Opponent. Passing. We untap. There's an island. Well, play an island. Take down Karn. Take... Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take Pithing Needle. Pithing Needle. Opponent cracks Scalding Tarn. This is as awkward gets. Name Grim Lavamancer. Pass the turn. Oh my god, this game. Opponent untaps. Draws. Misty Rainforest. Passes. Play Dovin. Take up Karn. Pass the turn. The risk of dying to a lightning bolt is what's making this so awkward. Land for our opponent. Passes. We draw. Narset. That's not bad. Play new Narset. Keep new Narset. Take down new Narset. Take a Force of Will. Take up Karn. Pass the turn. We are going to be going for this lock at some point. We are getting close to being able to do it. We're lucky we're still alive. Opponent draws. Passes. We untap. Chrome Mox. Well, take down Narset. Get a Force of Will. Karn. Animate Pithing Needle. Go attacking. Hit our opponent. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Preordain. Resolves. This might be the time where we go for it. This might finally be lock time. And then we have to not time out. This is game 1. This is a ridiculously long game 1, and we're probably playing too slow, but opponent passing. We draw. Polluted Delta. Play Polluted Delta. Karn. Take down. Get Lattice. Oh my god. Pass the turn. Oh. Opponent untaps. Young Pyromancer. Well, we will Force of Will. Opponent lets it go. Passes. We untap. We draw a land. We play a land. We Lattice. Opponent forces. We force to 1. And opponent has the bolt. Oh, wow. What a game. We didn't win. Oh my goodness, that game. Oh boy. Oh, now we're going to time out. Oh, this league. I'll go down Palace Jailer. Oh, that was very awkward. Oh, I really wanted that one. Really wanted that one. Oh, lordy. Lordy, lordy, lordy. So close. Alright, bring in some removal. Flusterstorm's probably necessary. Force of Will's a little sketchy. Man, we probably did something wrong. I don't know exactly what, but I probably did something wrong somewhere along the line. Now the problem is, unless we get an insane nut draw, and this is no mana, it seems unlikely that we can complete this this match without timing out. Ponder. Yeah, I guess we keep it. Flooded Strand. Go. Yeah, we're going to need something crazy to happen. Opponent. Time was another problem there, too. We were running low on Crag Flooded Strand. Grab an island. Ponder. Opponent has Spell Pierce. Well, we will play a Plains past the turn. Opponent untaps. Running out of time. Maybe we could have been more patient, but the pressure was definitely on. With us just being... yeah, I guess we played too slow. Opponent ponders. Thinking. Sure. And there's a Delver that we can't answer at the moment. Opponent passes. Force of Will. Oh boy. Not like this. Not like this deck. Delver, gonna flip because there was a Ponder, and that's what it does, and it's a Pyroblast, which shuts out our stuff. Oh, opponent gets in. Hits us. Sure. Down to 6. Passes. We draw. Chrome Mox. Well, cast Chrome Mox. Exile a Narset. Whatever we do is going to get Pyroblast. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Delver going to hit us down to 13. Yeah. And ponders. Oh, I wish we had a Narset. Narset's so insane, but it's not on the battlefield. Okay, opponent, yeah, ponders and passes. We draw a Jace. Oh god. All right, well, I guess we have to play Narset. This is bad in many ways. There's a Pyroblast. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Cracks their land. Grabs Volcanic Island. Really? Alright. Abrades our Chrome Mox. Gets in with Delver. And we might just be seeing... I mean, this is the power of Delver. Maybe the best deck in Legacy at the moment. Misdirection. Well, that would have been good last turn. Kind of a turn late this game. Opponent, Delver. Well, at least we're not going to time out. We're just going to get instantly beaten down by Delver. So we got a Force. Exiling Jace, which we'll never cast. Opponent, combat. Gets in with the Insectile Aberration. Hits us to 6. Passes. We draw... Well, Swords Delver. I think the damage has pretty much been done, though. Opponent forces. Well, we will Flusterstorm Force. Get rid of the Delver, sort of. Pass the turn. I mean, we do get rid of the Delver, but we're down to 6. The Delver was hitting for 6 turns. Or 5 turns. Preordained for our opponent. And we're still on 2 mana. Ugh. Dreadhorn Arcanist. Oh, that's brutal. We draw Supreme Verdict. Yeah, alright. Oh, boy. Oh, we've done super cool things with this deck, but our record, gonna become middling, I guess. Alright, series TBD time. One more shot for Superfriends in Legacy. And, alright, we're a little pinched on mana. We'll see. Opponent, Noble Hierarch. Oh, God. Oh, is this Infect? Alright. Opponent's passing. We draw a land. Okay, so play Tundra. Play Chrome Mox. Exile Teferi. Walking Ballista. Kill Noble Hierarch. Pass the turn. Opponent. Well, next step, get down Narset to shut down the cantrips. Yeah, there's Inkmoth. And Glistener Elf. Alright. Opponent's passing. Polluted Delta. Crack it. Grab an island. Play Narset. Take down Narset. Take... I guess Dovin. Pass the turn. Well, let's see if we remain living. Opponent untaps. Another Inkmoth. Fires up Inkmoth. Combat. Face and face. Alright. Down to 19. Oh boy. Opponent's just playing it fair. And that might actually be enough. Ancient Tomb. Well, take down Narset. Take... We can Dovin. Yeah, let's take Ponder. Play Ancient Tomb. Play Dovin. Dovin. Target Glistener Elf. Ponder. Ooh, okay. That's interesting. We will keep back to basics. Pass the turn. If our opponent taps out to attack with these Inkmoths, then back to basics shuts off a big chunk of their infect creatures. Then we just need to find a way to deal with the Glistener Elves, basically. That's our plan anyway. We are out of card draw, and we're drawing a land next turn, which isn't great. Alright, Misty. Dovin's static ability kind of nice here. Gonna make it a little harder for our opponent to cast a bunch of pump spells because of the tax. It is relevant. Is it enough? That remains to be seen. Alright, Ink Moth. Opponent combat. Hits us. Yup. Cracks Misty. Tropical Island. Crop rotation. Well, I guess we just spell pierce that. Take a couple, in fact. Untap. Play Polluted Delta. Crack Polluted Delta. Grab an island. Back to basics. Dovin a Glistener Elf. And now it's up to us to draw something. We're at 4, in fact. Dovin is keeping us alive-ish. Opponent found a mana source. Alright, Tropical Island. Noble Hierarch. That is helpful for our opponent. Goes to combat. Gets in for 2, in fact. Yup. Alright, deck. We need something. Up to 6. We draw. Nothing. Well, Dovin. On a Glistener Elf. Play a land. Oh, we're running out of time. We're running out of time. We need a swords desperately. Opponent. Combat. Update. We got one draw. We got one draw to hit it. Another Glistener Elf getting in. Up to 8, in fact. Come on, deck. It's a land. All right. Wow. Wow. Okay. So, Ballista in. I guess Flusterstorm's in. And I guess Supreme Verdict? Oh. Boy. Boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Go down the Preordain. Go down to Back to Basics. Go down Palace Jailer. Go down Days Undoing. Yeah, I guess we go down both Palace Jailers. And maybe we go one Karn? Try it like that. Alright, we get to play first. Well, we have a Swords. Swords is good. We have a Karn. Karn can be good. Our life total doesn't really matter with this Ancient Tomb, so that's something. Well, we'll see. This could work. Maybe we shouldn't have been so aggressive killing Noble Hierarch in game 1. So Island go. Opponent, Misty Rainforest, cracks it. Tropical Island, and Preordain. Yup. Opponent passes. We draw. Ponder. Yeah, play Flooded Strand, Ponder. Oh, okay. We actually want all of these. Alright, we'll draw swords first. No shuffling. Pass the turn. Opponent. Double swords is nice. Misty Rainforest cracks it. For a forest. And Blighted Agent. Alright, we untap. Ancient Tomb. Dovin. Take up on Blighted Agent. Pass the turn. Wasteland. Yeah, that's actually annoying. Opponent. Pithing Needle. Well, crack Flooded Strand. Take a Tundra. So this is going to name Dovin. I guess that's fine. Name's Dovin. Opponent. Passing. Let's see what we draw. We had to shuffle away Jace because of our mana situation. So Brainstorm. Put back Karn. Put back Narset. Play Polluted Delta. Swords, the Blighted Agent. Pass the turn. I mean, Dovin's static ability is still pretty nice here. Like, even if we can't actually activate it to target something, just making our opponent's spells cost 1 more is relevant. And our hand has a lot of defense. Opponent, 2 mana Preordain. And a Windswept Heath. Opponent, passing. Well, crack Polluted Delta. Take a Tundra. Narset. Take down Narset. Take Spell Pierce. Pass the turn. We could have taken the Back to Basics, but our opponent's kind of playing around it a bit. Tropical Island for our opponent. I feel like we're in decent shape. Wastelands and us not drawing lands could be an issue. But other than that, we're in decent shape. 2 mana preordained. The taxing effects are pretty real in this one. 2 mana for Scry 2. Does not even get to draw a card because of Narset. Opponent passes. When the planeswalkers stack up, they really stack up. Well, take down Narset. Take a new Narset. Play a land. Narset. Keep new Narset. Take down Narset. Take swords. Pass the turn. We have found every swords in our deck. We have defense for days. We do need a way to actually kill our opponent at some point, but... Blighted Agent. Sure. Opponent's passing. We draw Brainstorm. Well, swords, Blighted Agent. Spell Pierce the Vines. So Blighted Agent down. Take down Narset. Take... more Narsets. Pass the turn. Well, now we're to the point where we kind of want to find Karn. I think Karn is the card we need most. Opponent, Noble Hierarch. Passing. Well, it's Brainstorm. Is this crop rotation? That's fine. Yeah, sure. I assume it's for an Ink Moth. Yeah, it gets an Ink Moth. Brainstorm. There's a Karn. We kind of want all these. I guess we're just not shuffling. So put back Brainstorm Island. Untap. Play an island. Pass the turn. Opponent. Ink Moth. Goes to combat. Attacks. For 2. Sure. We'll take 2. Up to 2 in fact. And then end of turn. Swords. Untap. Draw. Brainstorm. Which we knew about. 2 cards in hand. Yeah, let's just play a new Narset. Keep a new Narset. Take down Narset. Take a Ponder. Pass the turn. I mean, the Karn lock is going to be coming. Another Noble Hierarch. Yeah, I guess we're just wrathing next turn. Opponent combat. Attacks our face. Sure. They probably should just hit Narset at this point. Yeah, gonna hit Narset. Down to 1. Yup. And let's Brainstorm. Oh, a glut of riches. Put back Karn and Jace. Untap, draw. Supreme Verdict. Kill the Noble Hierarchs. Pass the turn. Actually, I guess at this point, crack Polluted Delta. Get an island. Ponder. We shuffle away the Karn, but we have a Jace now, so that's fine. Alright, opponent counters the Ponder. Sure. Well, we have just kind of beaten through our opponent's entire hand. And then, in theory, Jace, yeah, opponent didn't even need to see the finisher. We just dealt with all their stuff. And after dealing with all their stuff, opponent just did not have a way to get back into it. Okay, I mean, that seems to be the plan. Do we want to main deck the bridge? We only have 1 Karn in the main deck now. Maybe we should, like, go up bridge for... The cut is a bigger question. Maybe we're just going 1 Supreme Verdict. Run it like that. Alright, we're on the draw, which is scary. Come on, Planeswalkers. You can do... Oh, 0 lands. Alright. Well, we got lots of goodies, but that's probably because we have no lands. Opponent's also mulliganing. Alright, keeping it 6, although I'm a little scared about this keep. Hopefully it's good. Oh, alright. We gotta keep both swords. Opponent. Misty cracks it. Tropical Island. And Preordain. Yup. And passes. Well, Flooded Strand. Crack it. Take a island. And Ponder. Those are all decent. So let's draw... Yeah, let's go Chromox Ballista Ancient Tomb. No shuffle. Pass the turn. Ink Moth Nexus. And Sylvan Library. Yeah, we don't have an answer for that at the moment. Opponent. Pass it. Now let's Brainstorm. Put back Karn. Put back Ancient Tomb. Play Ancient Tomb. Oh, our mana is so awkward here. Oh, play Walking Ballista. There's a daze. Picking up the land. Chromox. Exile of Swords. Pass the turn. Alright, here comes Sylvan Library. Man, I wish we could get this Narset down. We're drawing all of our colorless mana. Opponent draws them all. Just draw down to 11. We can't really punish them severely for doing that, unfortunately. Tropical Island. Noble Hierarch. Opponent's passing. Well, we untap. We draw Ancient Tomb. We brainstorm. I'll put back Narset, since we're never going to cast it. Put back Swords. Ancient Tomb. Karn. Tick down Karn. For Pithing Needle. Play Pithing Needle. On Inkmoth Nexus. Pass the turn. Sylvan Library doing its thing. Oh, Narset would punish this so hard. Opponent draws and draws to 3. Well, they've drawn all the extra cards they can draw. They have spent literally all their life to draw all the cards possible. All right, opponent. What do you got in that handful of cards? Well, that Sylvan Library's been something. Tropical Island. Noble Hierarch Part 2. Opponent, combat. Attacks Karn. Down to 1. Well, we untap. Take up Karn on Pithing Needle. Pass the turn. Actually, go attacking. Pithing Needle's kind of a clock. Opponent's down to 2. This puts us close to the, Walking Ballista for the win range. Sylvan Library. Yeah, second Walking Ballista would do it. Unfortunately, we're drawing a Narset next turn, which is not especially helpful. Since our mana, so awkward. I guess there is a cause to playing the Soul Lands. Opponent, Pendelhaven, goes to combat. Attacks Karn. Well, Swords. Opponent has Vines of the Vastwood. Yup. Oh, this punishing mana. So there goes our Karn, and also our clock. Opponent. Glistener Elf. Passes. Well, play Dovin. Opponent forces pitching Blighted Agent down to 1. I think our possible way of winning is to draw our Walking Ballista. I think we need to save Force for that. I think that's our only realistic shot. Oh, the Sylvan Library definitely has swung the game in our opponent's favor. If only we could have got down Narset, it would have completely counteracted it, but another land for our opponent. Pumps a Glistener Elf. Well, here comes at least 4 Infect. Yeah, that's 4 Infect. Down to 11. We draw Walking Ballista to Fairy. Well, play to Fairy. Opponent brainstorms. Opponent. Nature's Claim on Pithing Needle. Well, Force. Pitching the Narset that is uncastable. Teferi resolves. Bounce Glistener Elf. Wow. Supreme Verdict. Oh. Oh. Oh, this mana. This draw of mana. Oh, we're stuck on 2 Ancient Tombs, an island, and a Chrome Box on white. Which means we just can't cast so much of our stuff. Oh, yeah. Opponent gets to do the library thing. Goes to combat. Going to kill our Teferi. Oh, so close. Yeah, Teferi down. Glistener Elf. We draw. Oh, this deck. Alright, pass the turn. Oh, if that was just a land. Oh, brutal. Brutal and a half. Oh, my goodness. Alright. Pumps. We're dead to anything. Combat. Attacks. There's the pump spell. And that be the game. Well, that deck was interesting. Oh, man. Well, record-wise, Obviously not insane or even good. I feel like we played a lot of close games though. Like, Goblins kind of blew us out. The mana base definitely gave us a lot of issues. We could see the power of the deck in certain matches, but all right. Blue-white Super Friends. Not the best record. So what do we learn this week about Blue-white Super Friends in Legacy? And overall, good news, bad news. Bad news is a record. We went 1-4 with the deck, which obviously isn't a great record. We beat Sneak and Show, although I think the deck was a little better than our record suggested. One of our losses was sort of a time thing. Somehow in game 1, we had like 5 minutes left on our clock. So we probably might have lost anyway, but that kind of forced us to play in a really fast way against the Delver deck. So that was a crazy matchup. The Infect matchup was really close. We had some mana problems, which was kind of a theme of the deck, actually. The mana base is risky. That is probably the best way to put it. We had some games where we were color screwed by Ancient Doom. We had some games where we just didn't get many lands in an absolute sense. Like the one game against Delver that went so long, we got in this really weird position where we couldn't tap our Ancient Tombs because we were so low on life. However, we really wanted a Karn to get a Mycosynth Lattice and lock our opponent out of the game, but we didn't have the mana to do it, so there were some like awkward mana issues with the deck, which I guess makes sense. We are a 2-color deck that has some double-colored mana costs, and we are playing colorless lands, so I don't know. As far as how competitive the deck is, I feel like with maybe better playing and a little bit more luck, we probably could have won another match, maybe another 2 matches, because really, we were in all the matchups. We didn't just get blown out. Like the blue-white control match that we lost, we got to both players being empty-handed, basically at parity, more or less, and our opponent top deck better than we did, with us having like similar cards to draw. So we had a lot of really close matchups. So I felt like we were really close to maybe going 3-2 with the deck, although obviously not actually reflected in the record. The one match where it felt like we were pretty overwhelmed was Goblins. Goblins, I don't even know. That feels like a rough matchup, and maybe something this deck could consider that might help against those matchups is kind of improving on the sideboard, the Karn board. Something like Ratchet Bomb or Engineered Explosives would have went a long way towards helping in some of our worst matchups, like the Goblin matchup, having a tutorable Wrath effect, essentially. We do have Ensnaring Bridge, but our opponent, Goblins, million answers to that apparently, which we learned after trying to hide behind the bridge. So record-wise, the deck wasn't good, but we did get to have some really crazy games. We played some just absurd games, and that's the beauty of Legacy is win or lose, you'd play some crazy games of Magic, and this league was no different as far as that goes, and we got to see the power of some of the new planeswalkers. Like, Dovin was very impressive. Just taxing our opponent's spells was very good. I am kind of shocked at how good Dovin is, and Narset is absurd. It is so good. Literally, Narset might be better than Jace. That might be going too far. I'm not the most expert at Legacy, but seriously, shutting down all your opponent's cantrips was such a huge deal. Just an amazingly huge deal. So I was very impressed with Dovin and Narset in specific. Karn, we might not even really need Karn in this deck. Like, I guess it's cute that we could tutor out the Lattice Lock, but it might be better just being like normal Super Friends. Teferi Time Raveler, also a little hit or miss. It's good in the control mirrors, but it might not be necessary. So I'm almost wondering if we could build a similar deck that rather than having all the planeswalkers was almost like a taxi planeswalker deck, like some sort of blue-white taxes deck. Imagine not only just having Dovin, but also having like a Thalia on the battlefield. How is anyone going to do anything through that? So I feel like I was especially impressed with Narset and Dovin. Those planeswalkers were great. The rest of the deck, rough around the edges, but that makes sense. It's a new Legacy deck. Definitely does not have a ton of testing into it, tuning into it. So I feel like there's something with the core of Narset and Dovin, and the deck plays a lot of sweet things. Maybe some changes around the edges, either dropping Karn into Teferi or adding to the Karn package to make it more resilient. So I feel like someone's going to figure out a way how to take advantage of this. Dovin was great. Narset is absurd. That card is so good. You should be playing in Legacy. It is just insanely good in Legacy. Maybe the shell isn't 100% right because we had some mana issues and whatnot, but it was a ton of fun. Even in a losing effort, it was cool to see the new cards in action in a format as powerful as Legacy, and some of them were quite impressive. So anyway, that's been our Series TBD for this week. Blue-White Superfriends for Legacy. Thank you so very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it, even though our record wasn't good. Hopefully it was still fun. It was fun to play, even in a losing effort, and I will talk to you soon.
Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.